head who has haunted this gym at night ever since they started letting boys in.
And to other beautiful, esteemed guests, welcome. We really appreciate your all making it out. For many of us coming off a month of senior projects, this is pretty early. We are honored to have been chosen to speak at today's commencement.
We'd like to take a moment to thank all of our teachers,
our parents,
Kim's grandparents,
the entire maintenance and administrative staff, and Carl,
and the Head-Royce cat, who we are naming Bartholomew the Apostle, for making our time at Head-Royce possible. As a disclaimer, we just threw this together last night because we've been really busy catching up on Lost.
If there's one thing we've learned in high school, that wouldn't be a very thorough education. But all you parents can rest assured that your tuition money is being wisely spent on new technology in the classroom.
To illustrate, a few days ago, the two of us were racing Mr. Kinney on some sweet Head-Royce motorcycles. After a close finish,
where I creamed both of them, Paul, upset about getting wrecked at sports, yet again, started to throw a fit. K-Dog turned to us, and while stroking K-Dog's goatee, K-Dog put his hand comfortingly on Paul's shoulder and imparted some wisdom. He said, "In this life, the only thing you can choose is how to react to what happens to you. You can get mad booty tickled about the bad things, or you can take it all in stride."
Somewhat perplexed, Paul looked up and asked no one in particular, "Gee, how can I do that?" Mr. Kinney looked pensively into the distance and proceeded to quote the 1950 film Harvey, which I assume is a documentary about the famous Batman villain Harvey Dent. He said, "In this world you must be oh so smart or oh so pleasant. For years I was smart. I recommend pleasant."
And that is advice that our class has clearly taken to heart. Because even though everyone is a huge smarty-pants nerd, the two of us have never gone to high school with a more pleasant, well-rounded group of kids. Our class has nationally ranked robot designers,
passionate advocates for social justice, animal rights, and environmental protection,
literally infinity gifted athletes, and a bunch of award winners or whatever.
Of course, we fall short in some areas. We actually only have a finite number of gifted athletes.
We are at only about 2/3 of the national birth rate for twins.
And only like 3 of my friends have cats. And yet, our class is very different from those noodly little 14-year-old brace-faced dweebs you dropped off for their first day of freshman year. Except for Mel, who, at the ripe young age of 6 3/4, looks much the same as he did last year.
4 years ago, when I asked Haley Landmiller if academic dean/assistant head of school Crystal Land was her mom, she made a nasty face and asked how even the new kids knew. A few months ago, she introduced herself to the new 9th graders as Miss Land's daughter.
Joey, the lone freshman on varsity basketball, is now what film teacher Mr. Mooney's calls a closeted jock.
Finally, and perhaps most significantly, Bieber fever struck the nation with the release of My World 2.0 in 2010, creating a deep divide in our class between Courtney Ing and everyone else.